The tale of two sisters, Florence and Flora. Florence and Flora were two sisters bound by love, but separated by the choices life forced them to make. Florence, the eldest, became both mother and father to Flora after their parents' untimely demise. She worked tirelessly to ensure her younger sister received an education, sacrificing her dreams and comfort for Flora's future. Flora, a bright and ambitious young woman, graduated and returned home. Florence, eager for her sister to succeed, awaited Flora's plans. Flora explained she needed $300,000 for clearance to secure her certificate. Florence was devastated. Where would she find such an amount? Determined not to let Flora's education go to waste, Florence sought help from her close friend, Laura. Laura introduced Florence to Mr. Robot, a ruthless moneylender feared across the village. Desperate, Florence borrowed the money, knowing Mr. Robot's terms were unforgiving. She handed the money to Flora, who promised to pay it back once she secured a job. Flora, however, went to the city and fell under the influence of Rachel, a friend with questionable morals. Rachel introduced Flora to Bright, a wealthy politician who preyed on young women. Bright promised Flora a life of luxury in exchange for her companionship. Blinded by ambition, Flora agreed and began living with Bright, ignoring Florence's calls. Meanwhile, Mr. Robot demanded his money. Florence, unable to pay, lost her home and belongings. Homeless and desperate, she confided in Laura, who suggested she travel to the city to find Flora. When Florence arrived, she discovered Flora living lavishly with Bright. Overjoyed, she approached her sister, only to be humiliated. Flora denied knowing her, introducing Florence as a housekeeper she had hired from the village. Heartbroken, Florence took the job to survive. She tried to reason with Flora, urging her to leave Bright and build an honest life. But Flora refused, consumed by her desire for wealth. Bright, abusive and controlling, grew suspicious of Florence's influence and began mistreating her too. One day, Bright's abuse escalated and Florence intervened. In a moment of desperation, she struck Bright to protect Flora. Bright survived, but reported Florence to the police, demanding her arrest. Shockingly, he manipulated Flora into testifying against her sister. Florence was jailed, her sacrifices seemingly in vain. Paul, a kind-hearted and wealthy man Florence had befriended, came to her rescue. He secured her release, and his unwavering support gave Florence hope. Meanwhile, Flora, seeing the lengths Florence went to protect her, was overcome with guilt. She realized the cost of her decisions and left Bright, vowing to rebuild her life. With Paul's encouragement, Florence began a new chapter. Their friendship blossomed into love, and they eventually married. Flora, inspired by her sister's resilience, found a stable job and started afresh. The sisters reconciled, and their bond grew stronger than ever. In the end, Florence and Flora found happiness and stability. Their story is a testament to the power of love, forgiveness, and the strength to rise above adversity. Together, they lived happily ever after, cherishing the lessons their journey had taught them.